So the April and Wayne show, they made a sequel for us. So they continue on their whole metal thing, and they basically try and say this time that we are linked to the Illuminati. Now, I'm not an expert on the Illuminati, but I looked up a couple of websites on them, and basically conspiracy theories are that they intend to control, they control the media, music, and science, and according to the Christian viewpoint of it, Satan uses the Illuminati to corrupt these, like, music and take people to hell. That is basically the gist of this video again. And there's conspiracy theories that the Illuminati believe in the NWO, which is the New World Order, which apparently involves the emergence of an authoritarian government. And apparently Winston Churchill and Woodrow Wilson said that there was going to be a New World Order after World War I and World War II. But I have a feeling that that is more to try and, like, bring people together after, you know, like, the wanton destruction of both world wars. So I can't really link that to Satanism directly. And then the Christian viewpoint, the Christian conspiracy theory of it is that the Illuminati make a deal with the devil to move humanity into accepting a utopian society. First call of order, this is not a utopian society. Look around you. Look at the atrocities that happen in the world. And apparently, once all this is done, the Antichrist is to hold government positions, and it's complete crap, and it just sounds complete crap in honesty. Because, now, one of the first flaws I found with this is that the Illuminati recruited Freemasons to be part of their organisation. Now, the thing with Freemasons, and again, I don't know a lot about it, but I have looked up on a few websites, so if you don't believe me, look it up on that, is that they don't believe in any set religion, and it differs on wherever you go. What Freemason is it's the one thing that they do have in common is that they believe in the unity of mankind, which would fit in with the Winston Churchill, Woodrow Wilson thing I mentioned earlier. So it doesn't believe in, it's not Satanist, it's a mix of different religions that believe in the unity of man. It's basically a brotherhood in short. And they get accused of being Satanist due to their esoteric nature, meaning that you have to be within it to understand what it's about. So that is essentially what it is. And it's kind of all over the place. One of the quotes is, "The signs of Satanism and the Illuminati," which is also Satanic, are, and then it goes on with a bunch of others, but with the whole "and the Illuminati," and then it tries to say which is also Satanic, I've just proved their theory wrong. So, yeah, not happening already. Then they try and do this thing with the whole all-seeing eye, and try and claim that it's the eye of Lucifer. It's also known as the eye of Providence, which doesn't represent the eye of Lucifer, but actually represents the eye of God, watching over humanity. And it's fixed within the pyramid, as you see, with the rays of light. It shows all that. And it's found in loads of different other religions, like Buddhism, Egyptian and right back to Egyptian mythology. So that's another thing. And I looked up, like, the eye of Lucifer, because that's claiming what it is, and the only thing I could find was Christian websites with the exact same symbol claiming them to be the eye of Lucifer. So I don't know what the whole act is on that, but all I know is it represents the eye of God, so that is completely wrong. Then it moves on to Aleister Crowley, and they call him a Satanist, and the wickedest man on earth. That is the direct quote, which is completely untrue, because he was not a Satanist, and there are many documentations and speeches he made where he's claimed that he's not a Satanist, but instead he made up the theory of Thelma, or religion of Thelma. It's a theory, and says that Thelemites should seek out and follow their own true path in life, which is not Satanist. I know that seems quite similar to the whole Levian Satanism thing, but this was out before Levian Satanism, so I don't really see how that ties in with Satanism if it would have been theistic Satanism at that point. So that's completely wrong. Obviously, I believe in magic, so I presume they're thinking that's black magic. So that's probably how they've got that. But one flaw I noticed with this is they show a picture of Aleister Crowley, and he's sitting with a book, and it has a pentagram on it, and they claim him to be a Satanist, but the pentagram on it was actually a Wiccan pentagram, which actually made me look into this a little bit more. It's the pentagram that's used for Wicca. It's not for Satanism, and it's not for Levian Satanism. It's just a Wiccan pentagram, which drew my attention to it that more. And so I'll leave Aleister Crowley out of the way and move on to the merchandise. It tries to create a link between a Bring Me the Horizon t-shirt with a pentagram on it and the Wiccan pentacle used for the picture with Aleister Crowley in it. And first off, it's a different pentagram. The Bring Me the Horizon vest actually does have the Satanic pentagram on it, not the Wiccan pentagram, so already that is a massive mistake, because it's two completely different things. And they go, and it's like, and they question what's the whole thing with the owl, and then they explain how the owl is linked to witchcraft. Now, I know this seems like quite a common thing, but it seems as though you can't walk. It seems as though you can't walk into anything without, or you can't like have an animal on anything nowadays without it like representing something other than it just being an animal. I mean, it says that the owl is linked to witchcraft, so doesn't that mean that anyone who owns a pet snake sides with the snake who completely misled Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? Or have I missed something here? And yeah, like I said, and back to the owl again. Apparently, it represents a satanic figure, which apparently involves child sacrifice. So not only are we being called evil, we're now being called we're now apparently killing kids, which is strange. Apparently we're linked with that. So already it's proving like ridiculous. And they just seem to be digging themselves deeper with every single fucking word that they make. And then I'm just going to make a point here, is that they need to remember that it's like, admittedly, yes, there are some bands that use like Satanism as, you know, like a theme topic to like try and base themselves on, but you need to remember it's only a topic, it's only a theme. It does not mean that those people are directly linked to it or they believe in it. It's to start controversy, and I'll tell you this, it seems to be working if people seem to be getting so pissed off about it. All it is a topic. It doesn't mean anything. That is it, okay? I mean, it's a bit like writing a song about Jack the Ripper, like the Defiled have done. They're a London band. It does not mean that they are linked to Jack the Ripper in any way. They're not related to him, so that's the kind of argument they're trying to push here. But then they try and push on with the Baphomet, I think it's called. I think that's how it's pronounced. But you'll see it in the video if you've watched it, and it's like the body of a woman, with like the legs, with like the lower body of a man, and the goat's head, essentially. And they try and claim it to be Satan, but it isn't Satan. It is a pagan symbol, and it represents the duality of man and women, heaven, hell, day, night, that sort of thing. That's why one hand is up and one hand is down. It is nothing to do with Satanism at all. It is originally a pagan symbol, and it's complete misinterpretation on this part. I'm going to go back to the bands again, instead of like getting all religious on this kind of thing. But clothing, like I say, is a controversial thing. It is controversial music that people listen to nowadays. So therefore, that's what people aim for. It's controversial. It doesn't link with anything. But but it's like, back to the whole topical thing. It's like there is a bull on one of the Drop Dead clothing T-shirts, which is Ollie Sykes' clothing range, and it's like, and they say that it's Satanist. They try and claim that the bull is Satanist, and then it will show you Ollie Sykes wearing like, I think it's like a basketball top. It's the Bulls in America, and apparently that's Satanist. I don't really see how that is, but one thing I'm going to put forward is stop using Bring Me the Horizon as an example. They just simply keep using one band as an example, and like I've said, some bands do use like Satanism as, you know, like their main theme. You can't keep using Bring Me the Horizon, and you can't keep using like a few hardcore bands because they've got like one symbol on it. You need to find more stuff on this and just stop using Bring Me the Horizon. And then they say that the inverted crucifix is mocking Jesus' crucifixion. Actually, no, it is not. In fact, St. Peter was crucified upside down, and it's a sign of defiance. It's not mocking, it is defiance, and that is it. Not everything is about Christianity, and they need to understand this. Not everything is out to try and get Christianity, and they need to try and learn this. Then, apparently wearing band merchandise or like subculture merchandise is going to let demons into your home. This is a t-shirt with something printed on it. The CBGB club. It's not letting in devils. It's not going to kill me. Don't worry. So then we'll move on. It's so they're failing miserably on that. But then it's like they try and show non-metal artists wearing satanic stuff, and the majority of it is not Satanist. And the only stuff that is Satanist is linked with the Levain Satanists, which are not devil worshippers, so they've completely failed on that. But they try and say that Bring Me the Horizon are trying to do the whole Eye of Lucifer, which I've already established is wrong. But they're instead making a diamond for their song Diamonds Aren't Forever. And it will say that the song is Diamonds Aren't Forever. So they've just, it's completely wrong, and it's obvious it's a diamond. But then they're going to move on, but then they try and attack the devil horns, and that is actually a Maloik for anyone that doesn't know. It was made by Dio, who was Christian, not Satanist as it's said in this. He was Catholic, and yeah, it's like when he joined up with Black Sabbath after Ozzy had left. Ozzy used to always do the peace sign, and it went over really, really well with the fans. And Dio wanted something that would make him go really, really well with the fans. And instead of copying Ozzy's peace sign, what he did was he took the Maloik, which was from his Italian grandmother, who was really, really superstitious and used to do that to warn off the evil eye. So that is where it's from. It is not related with Satanism, and they've completely misinterpreted all of that. And they try and do like this whole thing with like the 666 with the thumb, and I don't believe that for a second, because I'm just going to be quite honest, because that is the sign that you use when deep sea diving in order to say that you're okay, that everything is fine, that your oxygen tanks are working. That is what that is used for as well. And they try and say that the Beatles are Satanist, the same people that wrote All You Need Is Love and were all about peace on earth. Yeah, I don't really see how that's Satanist in the slightest. And they try and claim that Lady Gaga is doing a satanic pose, when in all honesty, no, she isn't. She isn't even in that position. She's got one arm out like that, and not up like that, and it's trying to refer back to the Baphomet, and if that's what it's called, and it just fails miserably. And they try and get like this taped interview with like an ex-Illuminati member, although I doubt that highly, and apparently you need to be a witch in order to get a music deal. There are temples within promotion companies and recording companies, and they put the disc down on the altar, and demons will follow it and make it successful. And apparently it's like this somehow blesses the album, which surely that would mean that there would be no bad albums, that you would like all the albums. And I would really want someone to explain that to me, because that it's obvious it's crap, and even if you are a Christian, you're probably sitting there going, yeah, that is a load of crap. And it's just, and they try and go on about how it's like, how many times do you not know what a song is about, but it's like you enjoy it anyway because it's got a catchy tune. You don't need to like agree with what it's saying. If it's got a catchy tune, you're gonna listen to it. I mean, if you find it appealing, you're gonna listen to it. That is the basis on which music is. And then they try and do this really, really cheesy prayer at the end, But I've looked through a lot of the videos on the April and Wayne thing, and it's the exact same prayer, and it's the exact same advice they give for absolutely everybody in that ever comments on their website. It's the same prayer at the end of each video, and all it is brainwashing, and it gives stereotypical views on all their videos, like it's doing with the metal and the subculture. And it's just completely stereotypical views, and they try and put forward this evidence, and unfortunately to a lot of people it's going to seem really, really convincing, which is unfortunate because the majority of people aren't going to be like me and like do further research into this to find everything that's wrong with it. So if you are, try and spread word around that it's complete and utter crap. Don't put the video around because we don't want them gaining any support. What I'm going to start doing is anything that comes up like this again, I'm just going to keep making videos. I'm going to pick out all the flaws in it, because in the end all this is discrimination, and it's complete and utterly unfair on the kids that are within the subculture, people that are within the subculture. It's just not fair, and it's high time that it stopped, and that's it. So if you can, try and make your own video responding to this and just show that it's complete and utter crap. And if anyone agrees with this, you are just wrong. That's it. There's no buts about it. You're just plain wrong and clearly an idiot.